In this episode, I'm going to discuss with you how precious are you. God created many things in this world. God created this universe. In the universe, He created a lot of planets. In this planet, He created this earth. He created a river, a mountain, beautiful flowers and fruits and vegetables. And He created you. When He created you as a unique person, as a masterpiece. In the entire universe, there is not another you. There is not another person with your thumb impression, with your facial expression, with your attitude. We should thank God that we are masterpieces. As masterpieces, we should produce masterpieces. Then you will ask me the question, what has God given me? That God has given you the gift of time. You know what a precious gift He has given? You have the same amount of time as the president of a country will have. Whether you are rich or poor, you have the same amount of time. Irrespective of religion, caste, creed, and nationality, you have the same amount of time. You have the same amount of time as the busiest man on the earth. The question is, what do you do with this gift of time? You know one thing? Whether you want it or not, this time is with you. You have to do nothing, practically nothing, to get this gift. When you get up, the time is with you. When you sleep, the time is with you. When you work, the time is with you. When you don't do work, the time is with you. The question is, how do we treat this time? I'm going to discuss with you a couple of myths, explode some of the myths, prove some myths do not exist in this episode. Imagine you are on a conveyor. On the same conveyor, VVIPs are there, you are also there. The conveyor is unidirectional. The speed of the conveyor is set. The direction of the conveyor is set. You have no control on the conveyor. You cannot stop the conveyor. You cannot change the direction. You cannot slow down the conveyor. You cannot fast forward the conveyor. This conveyor is your life. You have to enjoy what you see around. You have no choice but to see and enjoy. Imagine you are in front of a VCR, and this VCR has no stop button, has no fast forward button, has no review button, has no control. You have no control. This VCR is time. We have no choice at all, but we have this in plenty, which is time. The problem with many of us is we don't realize what is the gift we have. We don't realize what to do with the gift. Another set of people realize what to do with this gift of time. We need to realize, I already said you are precious. I already said you are a masterpiece. I already said you have to create a masterpiece. How do we create a masterpiece? Using time. Imagine you have 168 kilograms of gold ore. Imagine another person has the same 168 kilograms of gold ore. The other person knows how to extract gold from this gold ore. You may not know how to get gold from this gold ore. These 168 kilograms represents the 168 hours per week you have got. If you know how to process this gold ore, you have made it. But do we realize the value of time? Many often not. You go and ask a very successful person, you ask him money, he will give you. If you ask him time, he may not.
This is Adam Smith from the website of the Nobel Foundation.
Oh, I'm not Yunus. I'm his brother speaking. He's busy with many people around him.
Aha, right. Would it be possible to spend just a couple of minutes, just 1 or 2 minutes speaking to him?
Okay. Please Please don't take more than 2 minutes, okay?
I promise I will not.
Because they understand the value of their gift that God has given. Why do we not realize the value? A, it is invisible. If you have money, you look at the money, you know how much money you have got at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month. As you go through the month, people used to say a golden week, a silver week, a copper week, and a pauper week. In a golden week, first week of the month, 100 rupees may not look very big. At the end of the month, 10 rupees may look very big because you are able to see the money coming down. Let me give another example. When you are driving a car or a motorbike, the fuel gauge indicates how much more fuel have you got. When your tank is full, you don't bother. You don't stop the engine. You ride the way you want. Imagine you are on a highway and the fuel gauge is showing almost end, and the next petrol bunk is not in the vicinity. You know how careful you will become? All of a sudden you will stop the engine. You will be very careful. You know why? You realized that the balance is not much. Let me give another example. Have you used a prepaid card? When you use a prepaid mobile, when your mobile shows full charge, you talk the way you want. Assume that you have 2 rupees left and you are waiting for an important conversation to take place. You are expecting to make an important call and somebody calls you and you seem to be and you happen to be on a roaming. How careful you will become. Life is like a prepaid card. Life is like a fuel tank. In the case of a petrol tank, a fuel gauge or a prepaid card, you can find out the balance. But in the case of your life, you cannot find out the balance. You don't decide when you want to exit. You cannot decide when you want to enter. You can only decide what do you do when you exist. Entry is not in your control. Exit is not in your control. What you do in between is in your control. In my time management seminars, people ask me on time management. I used to say time management, the term, is universal bluff number 1. I repeat, universal bluff number 1. You know why? You write down the word time management. You look at the word management. There is a word within a word manage. The moment you say you manage, there is an element of control. If you cannot control, you cannot manage. We talk about a personal manager. We talk about a finance manager, a materials manager. A materials manager has a control on the material. He can decide the quantity of the material. A finance manager has a control on the finance. He decides he needs more money, he needs less money. A production manager has control on the production line. He can make it faster, he can make it slower. You have control over time? Can you say that I need more time because today is the happiest day in my life? Can you say I need less time because today is the saddest day in my life? The happiest moment in your life has 60 seconds. The saddest moment also has 60 seconds. In a minute. Assuming you go to Singapore or Japan or United States, you have finished your work, you have one more day to go, and you're enjoying Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong. Can you say that because today I'm happy, let me have 36 hours a day? It's not in your control. So I call time management is a universal bluff. Then the question is, what do you control? You control the output per unit of time, which I call as the productivity of time. Those who succeeded in life understood not only that they are a gift, not only that they have a gift of time, but they also understood the only control they have is to optimize the output per unit of time. So there is no such thing as time management. The second bluff, I call it as no time. No time. You go and ask a person, can you come for my function? He says, no time. And you have an excuse, sorry, I don't have time. Again, it is a universal bluff, because you have the same time, as I mentioned earlier, as the president of a country. You will have time. You will find a time for things which you want to accomplish in life. I conducted a lot of interviews, I told you. Nearly 500 people, big and small, popular and unpopular, successful and unsuccessful, to understand how they did what they did. To write this book, one interview I will never forget. In my time management seminars, I talk about roles. We have various roles. We have a role as a father, we have a role as an executive, a role as a club secretary, a husband, a wife, a son, a daughter. There was one person who joined a company as a trainee, engineer trainee. In 28 years, he became an executive director of that company. When somebody told me, I thought that's a fit case to be interviewed. With great difficulty, I sought an appointment. I went to him. He gave his visiting card to me. It read, Mr. So-and-so, executive director, huge multinational company. I asked him, tell me, sir, how did you succeed? How did you come up in life? He said, I work very hard. What are you? I asked him. Executive director. Do you have any other role? He says, no, I am an executive director. I said, in the family, in the society? Of course, yes. I am a father, I have a daughter and a son, I am a husband, but I have no time. The only reason I succeeded in this company is I worked very hard. Sridharan, do you know that I have not taken leave for 7 years? For 7 years you have not taken leave? No, I have not taken leave. Why? My office pressure. And he said his daughter is in the 9th standard and he has not even attended one school day function of that daughter. I asked him why. He said, well, my office demands my presence. He said all the days in a week he is working, all the days in a month, whether it is a Ramzan or Christmas or Deepavali. He pointed out that is my colony and I am here. Even Sundays I work. Sundays I may go home at 3 o'clock and after that's a luxury. I asked him, do you enjoy? Yes. And he was giving an example. Last annual day of his daughter, he promised to be at the annual day because the daughter was supposed to be receiving a lot of prizes. And he realized it was 6 o'clock in the evening that he is still in the office and he missed that annual day. I said, wonderful. What's your goal? I asked. He said, to become the MD of this company. I thought behind every successful person there is a lady. I thought of interviewing his wife and I telephoned her. She was there in her ladies club. I asked her, Madam, what are you? She said, I am the secretary of my ladies club. I said, what's your goal? He said, I want to become the general secretary of the All India Ladies Club Federation. Do you have any other role? I asked. She said, of course, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, but no time. You know, she said, she has not even celebrated even one birthday of his daughter or son. I said, why? She said, my daughter's birthday happens to be my club day and I'm busy celebrating the club activities. She said, I celebrate club day and she celebrates birthday with her friends. She said, I don't believe in birthdays. I said, fine, best of luck. When I was talking to her, a little girl came that side. I asked her, hi, how are you? She said, fine. I asked her, what are you? She said, I'm a fighter in the house. Uncle, there is no father in the house, there is no mother in the house, so there is no daughter in the house. My father has no time for me, mother has no time for me, and I have no time for them. I asked, do you like what you're doing? Yes. So I enjoyed the evening with them. 6 months later, I wanted to know how these people are pursuing their goals. because each did not have time for the other. I went to his office. He was not there. He was on leave. I said, if he could take leave, there should be something great. I went to his house. He was in his lobby. He said, Sridharan, do you know who I am now? I said, who are you? He said, I am a father to my daughter. I said, what happened? Do you know I told you about my daughter in the 9th standard? Yeah. She is having blood cancer. And doctors have given 6 months for her to live. I told you I have not even attended one school day function of my daughter. I am not going to attend one. Look at the television. I am seeing the annual day function of my daughter. She is receiving a lot of prizes. Look at her eyes. She is searching for me in the front row where I promised to be. I disappointed her that day. She is going to disappoint me forever. Next to him, his wife was sitting. She said, sir, do you know who I am? I'm a mother. I asked, madam, how are you progressing towards your national goal? She said, that day when I met you, I thought I have a long time as a mother, but I realized the role of a mother is shrunk to less than 6 months. I told you I have not even celebrated one birthday of my daughter. I am not going to celebrate one because before the next birthday, she is not going to be there. This Sunday, we are going to celebrate a false birthday of my daughter. In whatever way she was wanting to celebrate her birthday, we want to celebrate because we are not going to celebrate her real birthday. As I was talking to them, that girl came. Hi, uncle. She was very cheerful. I said, how dear, how are you? She said, my parents have not told me, but I know. You know who I am now? I'm a daughter in the house. I realized the moment I became a daughter, I saw a father, I saw a mother. You know, remember I told you that I fight? Uncle, do you know I don't fight? You know why? How many days I'm going to be a daughter? On that day I said, I thought I'm going to have a lot of time. But no, I'm not going to have a lot of time. Uncle, please ask my father to go to office. You know why? You know I have a brother. At least for his sake, he should become an MD. Ask my mother to go to the club. You know why? I'm afraid she will die before me. I realize how much they love me. Uncle, every day I get up in the morning, I say myself, it's going to be an excellent day. Come what may, I'm going to enjoy today. Because, uncle, I'm not going to have many days to live. I have no choice. I'm a happy person. As I left that house, I was asking myself, what happened to the goal of becoming an MD? What happened to the goal of becoming the All India General Secretary of the Federation Ladies Club? What happened to be the fighter in a house? The only difference is the balance time revealed itself. When you know the balance is not very high, all of a sudden this resource value will reveal and you will start conserving this resource. You want to know what will make you to focus your attention to time? You want to know how to invest your time? You want to know what should be your state of mind to make that investment decision? Stay with us.